Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. The time has come. The Final Fantasy XIII Collaboration is officially here, guys. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's honestly more like a Lightning collaboration based on some of the stuff that I've seen behind the scenes, but it is actually looking to be pretty cool. We've gotten a bunch of, actually good quality of life. So as you guys can see right here at the start screen, we actually have a skip battle feature now, right? And we're going to get to this in the notices, but essentially you can use this to skip quests that you've already gotten an S rank ranking in. And so you can use it to do your premium quests at the beginning of the day. You can use it to do your daily battles right here. You can do 4 per day, which is pretty perfect because you got premium, you got 2 of these, and then you got the event quest. So you can do it for the 1 a day quests as well. So this is actually really cool. This is like things that I feel like they should have been doing a long time ago, but it is definitely nice to see them adding stuff into the game right now. All right, so we're going to get into the notices. Before I get into the notices, I wanted to say congratulations to everyone on the last Guild War. That was definitely a hard Guild War. Special shout out to my guild, Bahamut. Everyone freaking crushed it. We barely made it into the top 10. It was a lot of fun. Definitely there were, a lot of the FCs are fighting super, super, super hard. So thank you guys, and cheers to the entire CB Alliance. I hope every one of you guys out there did great, along with all of the rest of you guys competing. All right, we do have some recruitments as well. I will talk about that at the end of the video. I guess I can just briefly touch on it. Titan, who ranked 27th in the last war, is looking for 2 players. So if you're looking for something in the top 30s, and then also Bahamut 0, which ranked 23rd in the last war, is looking for 1 player. So if you guys are interested in joining, we are recruiting in some guilds. Most of them are pretty competitive, either in the top, probably in the around the top 30s, maybe top 50s. So just come check out our Discord. There's a link in the description of this video. So that being said, Final Fantasy XIII is here. Let's get into the notices. Today I'm going to be doing just a patch updates video. Then I'll have a to pull or not to pull on the banner that will drop tomorrow morning, since this is a bigger banner. Lots of cool stuff, all right? So let's go down to the bottom here. October 29th, Final Fantasy XIII series crossover campaign is officially here. It's looking pretty cool. We got new enemy skills that can be switched out for limit breaks. I think Army of One is going to be a limit break that we can learn from Lightning and then slot in and use it as our own limit break, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a big change. So here we have a login bonus. So log in to get up to blue crystal times 3,000. All right. That's great. Daily free draw up to 290 draws. That's 29 days of free 10 draws, which is fantastic. For a limited time, 100% reward increase in weapon and synthesis quests. All right. So if you guys need to level up anything, now is going to be the time. For another login bonus, we get Mithril Ingot times 5 and up to Blue Crystal times 750, with more coming every week. Clear all panel missions to get Lightning's enemy ability, which I believe is Army of One ability. Interesting typo there. Limited wallpaper and more. I really am disappointed that they took off wallpapers from featured banners. How much effort could it possibly take to make a wallpaper for the featured banner? Not that much. So I'm glad that this is here, but I really hope they bring back featured wallpapers, or else the backgrounds are just going to get stale. Everyone's going to keep seeing what they've already seen. I just don't think it's really great in their business model, to be honest. All right, so let's keep going down. All right, event Final Fantasy XIII series crossover, Flash of Destiny on now. It does look like this is a full-on mini-story with the chibi characters, kind of exactly what I think everyone was hoping for Advent Children. So it is nice to see something like this. Hopefully the story will be good. Okay, in this event, battle effects will be applied to each stage. Rearranging your formation to take advantage of a fight's battle effect will be the key to progress. And the plot is as so. Cloud and his friends are suddenly attacked by a mysterious swordswoman. Honestly, I think it's totally fine to call a woman a swordsman. I think this is a bit over the top, but I think it's totally chill. You could just say swordsman, who calls herself Lightning. A strange twist of fate has led to an unwanted confrontation, but is there a way to defy destiny? That seems very epic. We'll have to see how that plays out. There's going to be some exchangeable items, Lightning's Cape and Feather of the White Chocobo. There will also be an Angeal exclusive weapon, the Lightning Sword. And if I'm correct, I'm guessing we're going to be getting a new ultimate weapon, potentially Sid's. I guess we'll just have to see. All right, there's a new Escalation challenge. Everyone knows this one is going to be super fun, guys. We're fighting lightning. It's an Escalation challenge. I mean, come on. Like, is it going to really get much better than this? Not really. Okay, all right, so essentially, yeah, there's not too much. Most of you guys, I'm guessing, know what an Escalation challenge is, so that looks really fun. Final Fantasy XIII Series crossover draw Tifa and Aerith on now. From what I'm understanding, it does look like it will be 2 double banners for this collaboration. I did see a picture floating around of Cloud and Sephiroth, and it's looking pretty damn sweet, guys. So yeah, for me, I'm like really hoping I can pull Aerith and Cloud. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I'll be doing a banner review for this. That'll come out tomorrow morning. But we'll check it. We'll take an early look today. Also in this draw, an ultimate weapon that can be equipped by Cid is featured. Dope. All right, here is a new Final Fantasy XIII Series step-up draw. As is my wont, you know, I essentially just recommend for almost all players just to pull the free first draw for free at step 1, step 4, step 6. Other than that, I think this is more of like a spender's banner. I think most people, it's not really like efficiently in the best interest to be pulling these step up draws. I think it's more economic for like people with crystals to be just pulling the regular banners most of the time. Final Fantasy XIII Series crossover daily free draw 1 now. Okay, free 1 draw. A daily free 1 draw. For every 1 crossover daily free 1 draw performed, 1 Final Fantasy XIII Series crossover weapon medal can be obtained. Okay, so we can get a single Final Fantasy XIII medal by performing a 1 draw, which we get 1 free per day. So that's 1 Final Fantasy XIII medal per day. By collecting Final Fantasy XIII Series crossover medal times 15 and exchanging them, it will be possible to obtain a crossover weapon. Wow, okay. The schedule for Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3 of the Final Fantasy XIII Series crossover daily free 1 draw is as follows. The exchange medals will be available from November 12th. Okay, so let's see here. The first period is from October 29th, that's today, until November 5th. And then November 19th until November 22nd. That's the first free 1 draw, Volume 1. And then the second one is from, this is super confusing, from November 6th to November 12th. And then from November 22nd to November 25th, and then from November 12th. This is the most confusing thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. Why would they set me up to read this and try to explain it to you guys? Why couldn't it just looks like this goes from October 29th until November 27th. Yet they broke it up into all these little brackets. I don't know, guys. This looks very confusing to me. It looks like there's some type of free draw, 1 per day, in which if you do that for 15 days, you can exchange it and get a Final Fantasy XIII crossover weapon. That looks like what they're trying to say. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I'm just going to go on that. Okay, new feature, enemy abilities. So this is actually a new feature coming to the game. Interesting because for the, my friend J.Ro is talking in the guild chat and he was saying that this feels more like the anniversary than the anniversary, right? Which is kind of crazy because it kind of does, right? Like we're actually getting new features added to the game. We're getting a skip feature. We're getting some quality of life. There definitely needs to be more. Like if they add new character levels without giving us like a one-click, like, fill in my whole character's skill tree, I think I'm going to rip my hair out of my head trying to level all those characters from whatever level we are now. I think it's 100, right? Up 10 levels. It just takes so long. We just need that quality of life. Alright, characters can now equip and use enemy abilities. So as you guys can see right here, here's the ability. And if you look in Cloud's limit break slot, there it is right there. So enemy abilities are a new type of limit ability that allows characters to equip and use abilities belonging to enemies. Equipping enemy abilities instead of limit breaks and summon abilities will cause the E ability gauge to fill up during battle instead of the limit/summon gauge. Once the gauge is full enough, it becomes possible to use an enemy ability, so it works essentially just like a summon or a limit break. Only 1 copy of a given enemy ability can be equipped by characters in the same party. Alright, obtaining an enemy ability unlocks an enemy ability stream. Once unlocked, an enemy ability can be enhanced by progressing through its stream through the use of specific items associated with the ability in question. So I'm guessing we have a Final Fantasy XIII Collaboration right now. We're going to be unlocking this enemy ability Army of One through Lightning, which was one of her abilities, one of her limit breaks, which is super cool. And then it's going to have its own kind of growth tree in which we're going to be able to level up these abilities as well, just like summons or limit breaks. I'm guessing that the materials needed to upgrade the individual enemy abilities are probably going to be directly linked to the events in which they drop. So you play the event, you get the ability, you get the abilities to level up the ability, you max the ability by the end of the event. That's going to be my guess for how this works. Alright, now when I first saw this, I thought they were off their frickin' rocker, guys. I was like, player level increased from 200 to 250? Okay, first of all, we're not level 200, alright? So, like, right off the bat, my mind was just, like, jacked. But I was like, we're going to do 50 levels at one frickin' time? But no, guys, this is for player level. So your actual account level now is going to be unlocked from level 200. So you're going to be able to get level 250. I'm not even close to level 200. I don't think that this is going to affect a ton of players. But for the players who've been capped out, congrats, guys. You can now hit, you know, 250,000 on your account level, which is pretty frickin' high. Alright, and then last but not least, we have the co-op battle for Shiva and Ramuh on now. Alright, and that is going to last from October 29th through November 10th for Shiva, and for Ramuh, October 29th through November 10th. Alright, so it's going to be for both of those summons. Alright, guys, so that is the patch updates. Alright, so let's go through and let's check out some of this stuff. So we have a shop. Alright, the Final Fantasy XIII series crossover pack. Okay, whoa. There's new stuff in here, guys. Oh my gosh, what is happening? I feel like I woke up in an alternate Ever Crisis reality. I don't know how many times I've looked at this shop, done videos. I've made over 500 Ever Crisis videos now. And it's always the same, guys. It's like heartbreakingly so when it's exactly the same. But this is different. Alright, so let's see what we got. For 4,000 red crystals, you get a single copy of the banner weapon. It's actually pretty good because as you go through the banner, you can get an unlock where you can buy a copy of the weapon for 5,000 blue crystals or red crystals. So this is actually 1,000 crystals cheaper. It would have been nicer if this was 3,000 red crystals, to be honest. I feel like that would have been a bit more fair. I feel like 4 is still too steep. But it is nice to see this. This is a nice thing to have, you know, for people. Like for me, for example, like I will 99.9% of the time if I hit OB9 on a banner, like I'm not going to keep pulling. But I know that there are people that really want to hit OB10 a lot of the time, and so they'll keep pulling even when there's no guaranteed copies. And I've heard horror stories, guys, horror stories of people going to like the 11th page or something trying to get that last copy and never getting it, which is just insane. So for anyone like that that's looking to pick up that last copy, this is a nice thing to have for spending players, right? It's kind of like a little safe gate. So I think it's a good thing that they added to the shop. There's only one of each, so it's not crazy. You can't go overboard. And then we get the actual ticket packs right here, which are the traditional ones with the 3,000 for Tifa and Aerith. We get the cross special right here, and then you have the double Tifa pack right here, which is going to give them 100 parts each, the 8,800 red, etc., etc. So other than the weapons being added, there's nothing really new, but that is pretty cool to see. So, all right, let's go to the skip battle. Let's try this. All right, so we'll just click that. All right, and confirm and skip. Let's skip it. Let's see how this. Wow. Why couldn't they have done this 2 years ago? Why could this not have been a thing 2 years ago? My gosh. It's such a little thing, but it's so gratifying. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is going to make my life so much easier. Let's just skip this too. You guys can just like, you know, take in the glory of this moment right now, which is fantastic. All right, guild request. We'll skip that as well. All right, that's actually really cool, guys. Like, I am absolutely psyched on that. And that's it. You can just do like the majority of requests right there. All right, so the icon disappears afterwards. I'm guessing it'll pop up every new day that you can do 4 of those. Okay, now let's go over And let's take a quick look at the banner itself. It does look like there has been a update to the actual interface here. I like it. This actually looks a lot better. I feel like instead of them updating the frickin' UI for this though, can we please get some damn quality of life in the game? Like, for real. Like, this looks really cool, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like the priorities at Applebot are just a little bit skewed at the moment. Like, this is cool. I like something to look at, but I want my life to be a little bit easier. So, you know, don't get me wrong. I think that there's a lot of players that feel the same way. All right, so here we have this new interface. But on the plus side, this interface looks pretty sick. Definitely Final Fantasy style, pretty sleek. All right, so here's the step-up draw. Let's just do our free step-up really quick just for fun, and then we'll go take a look at the banner. Aerith is looking pretty insane. Tifa is looking pretty insane. Obviously, it's a collaboration banner. So most of the time, stuff is going to be pretty solid. I know we just had the Advent Children collaboration. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm excited. I like Final Fantasy XIII. I really like the direction of the costumes from what I've seen, even if I've seen the second banner, which is out there, by the way, guys, which looks so freaking cool, by the way. Yeah, I think that, yeah. All right. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let's go over to the crossover banner and let's check this out. All right, so let's see the animations for the actual skills. Oh, we can actually check out everything over here. Okay. All right, let's look at Cid's ultimate weapon. Venus Gospel! He freaking got it! Oh, that's badass. That's super cool, actually. That's actually his ultimate weapon from the original. I'm a little bit bummed that Cloud didn't get ultimate weapon, but then Cid is getting Venus Gospel right now. All right, so call and response is going to be 2 casts right here, charge time 60 seconds, deals 2,000% physical magic non-elemental damage upon a single enemy, also applies physical weapon boost for command ultimate command ability damage plus 30% to all allies, duration 60 seconds. Okay, super sick. For magic and physical weapon boost to all command ultimate command abilities, plus 2 ATB gauge to all abilities. Wow, this is a very good ultimate weapon, guys. For a support, this is super, super solid. Lucia's was really good too. I'm going to be pulling this banner. I couldn't get Lucia, so it would be nice to have one of the support's ultimate weapons. I just need a little bit of luck, and I hope that all of you guys get insanely good luck. All right, so buff debuff extension right here in the first slot. 22 points is going to get us almost 120% right here. So super solid. It's going to be 80% for the buff debuff duration. And then stream phase haste buff or boost. Applies haste on all allies when stream phase is activated. Damn! This is sweet. This is very good, guys. I'm guessing stream phase is the overspeed. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm guessing it's overspeed. And then so basically if it is overspeed, you're going to get a 15-second haste for the entire party every time it does that. The other thing I could imagine if it was like after interruption, but normally that's called interruption. So I think that this is for the overspeed, which would really be very, very powerful. Like, this is definitely a very good DPS focused, like, slayer of a support ultimate weapon. Like, it looks very good. Plus, I mean, it is Venus Gospel, guys. So for any like OG Cid fans out there, this is the weapon to have for him. All right, so fun. There's a lot of stuff. All right, so let's go over to the weapons right here. So here's Lightning's gloves. OB1, let's just take a look at OB10 since we're just taking a brief look for the patch updates. It's going to deal 1340% magic ice damage to a single enemy. Also, it's going to ice imperil the enemy mid to high. And when HP is 70% or more, it applies exploit weakness to self. So obviously, Tifa is now the best in slot magic ice DPS character in the game. So it's a very, very good weapon overall. It's going to boost magic attack and ice potency, but it does not have a magic attack all in the main slot, which is a bit strange for a collaboration weapon. Normally, I guess the anniversary weapons are the ones that have that, but still, I think it's a bit weak that it doesn't have some type of magic attack all or attack all in this main slot, because yeah, I guess it is quite good. I'll take a closer look in my to pull or not to pull video. All right, let's take a look at Aerith's. We're just going to go straight to OB10. Alright, so here's Aerith's Lightning's Rod, Enhancing Rose. Applies magic damage bonus when using magic ability damage. Deals bonus damage equal to 30% of damage dealt to all allies. 60-second duration. Okay, so essentially, and then on top of that, they really need to fix this where the text goes out of the box. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it looks really sloppy. It would not be that hard to make that bigger. Also, when HP is 70% or more, physical defense is increased, potency high, all allies on the first cast, while also doing a magic heal 7% of all healing. Condition first use increases command gauge potency by 75%. So right off the bat, this thing is just going to get you max attack stance gauge. It gives you heal in the first slot, buff debuff extension in the second slot. We get magic attack boost, heal boost, and all cure. So honestly, guys, this is like the yin-yang twin of Comrade Wand, except in my opinion it's better than Comrade, because I feel like the physical magic attack buff is easier to get in the game, and now this is giving magic ability like an enhanced magic damage bonus of a flat 30% to all allies, plus instead of the magic defense buff you get from Comrade and the physical focus, this is a magic DPS with a physically focused defense buff, and on top of that increases command gauge. Like, absolutely fantastic weapon. Hopefully they don't do the same thing where they drop this weapon and then they don't like give another one in the game for like 2 years. So and then lastly, let's take a quick look at the costumes. So we got physical and magic ward right here. All right, that's not bad. And soldier's valor, which is basically an ice arcanum costume right here. So nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Honestly, there's nothing. I'm a bit surprised by the first R ability. I thought it would have been better than that. And then we have Aerith's right here. Aerith's is better. This boosts physical defense to all allies while also giving Soldier's Pride. So healing potency plus 35% and all allies ATB plus 2 when the battle begins. So this is actually for farming. I mean, it's going to be an insanely good costume. For people that have most of Aerith's costumes, I don't think it'll be often like best in slot, but it is what it is. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing my banner review. That'll come out tomorrow morning. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Like I said, we are recruiting. I know that the game's been, you know, a little bit tough. I'm sure recruiting is tough for all guilds all around, but we are looking to recruit some players. So if you guys are looking to join guilds that are still competing, we have guilds in basically all brackets of competitiveness. So it's a fun environment. I still love doing the guild wars. You know, sometimes Ever Crisis makes me feel a little bit let down, to be honest. Like, I feel like if this was a passion project done by Square Enix, where they made these, and I think this is a problem for all of Square Enix mobile games, is that they produce and develop these games out of house, and because they're done outside of house, they're basically including a middleman. The middleman is there because, you know, Final Fantasy is a very popular IP and they know that they can make money from it. Hence we get Applebot here, we get all these kind of scummy approaches to try and take as much money from the player base as possible. Ultimately, I feel like it makes Square Enix look bad at the end of the day. The game is not as great as if Square Enix would have done it. And so I honestly think it would be in their best interest to, in the future for mobile games, make these games in-house. Like, I feel like they can compete with the best of the best. Why don't they? Why don't they try and make something great instead of just, you know, making whatever they can put out? But that's kind of my thought. But at the end of the day, Final Fantasy XIII looks pretty fun. I'm super excited for Cloud. I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys get the best pulls. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.